This itsy-bitsy spider laid plenty of Easter eggs. Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 things you missed in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Okay.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're taking a look at references and little details that likely eluded you in this animated Spider-Man feature. We'll try not to go into too many spoilers, but proceed with caution if you haven't seen the film yet. Number 10. SpiderMan Comics. In addition to capturing the look and feel of a comic book, Into the Spider-Verse pays homage to its source material with this meta Easter egg. Early in the film, Peter Parker notes that Spidey's popularity inspired a comic series. The issue shown as an example is Amazing Spider-Man number 186, which was published in November 1978 and saw Spidey go up against the Chameleon. The cover is an almost exact recreation of the real-life issue, except the Marvel Comics Group banner has been replaced with true-life tales of Spider-Man. This makes sense as Spider-Man is an actual hero in this universe, meaning his printed page adventures would be based on true stories. Spidey's debut, Amazing Fantasy number 15, also makes a few appearances. Number 9. SpiderMan Cereal.
SpiderMan Cereal, cool.
New SpiderMan Cereal. It's the action-packed part of your balanced breakfast.
Outside of comics, Peter mentions that Spider-Man's face has been plastered on numerous other products, including a breakfast cereal. Given how iconic Spider-Man is, it shouldn't come as a surprise that he really did have a limited edition cereal in the mid-90s as a tie-in for the Fox Kids animated series. Whereas the cereal in this film is called Spidey-O's though, the actual cereal was simply labeled Spider-Man.
SpiderMan Cereal, swinging into a store near you.
It was a sweetened rice cereal shaped like spiderwebs with colorful marshmallows sprinkled in. If you think the Spider-Man cereal looks an awful lot like Chex, that's because they were both made by Ralston, which also brought us Bill and Ted's Excellent Cereal and the Nintendo Cereal System. Number 8. The Ultimate Rogues Gallery.
You ever hear of the Super Collider? You're gonna love this.
Dimension opening now.
Liev Schreiber's Kingpin might have been the film's big bad, but he's far from the only villain who gets caught in Spidey's web. Kathryn Hahn voices a mad scientist revealed to be this dimension's version of Dr. Octopus. Instead of Otto Octavius, however, this female incarnation of Doc Ock has more in common with Lady Octopus, also known as Carolyn Traynor. Yorma Taccone lends his voice to the Green Goblin, whose monstrous appearance here resembles the ultimate Marvel version of the character. The baddies just keep coming, with Marvin Crondon Jones III as Tombstone, Joaquin Cosio as Scorpion, and Mahershala Ali as Miles' uncle Aaron Davis, also known as Prowler. So that's 6 major villains in a Spider-Man film. How sinister.
Officer, I love you.
Wait, what?
Number 7. B. Bendis' phone number. Writer Brian Michael Bendis was one of the most prominent figures behind the Ultimate Marvel Universe, which ran from 2000 to 2015. Bendis not only helped breathe new life into several established Marvel heroes, including Peter Parker, he also co-created Miles Morales with artist Sarah Pichelli. A mere 7 years after his debut in the comics, Miles takes center stage in this animated feature. The film gives a shout out to the man behind Morales, although you'll need a keen eye to catch it. In Miles' phone, the name B. Bendis is listed among his contacts. It's nice to know Miles is a phone call away from his co-creator at all times. Number 6. Steve Ditko's phone number. We're sure you all caught the late Stan Lee's poignant cameo in the film, but only the most observant audience members noticed the salute to Spider-Man's other creator. Similar to the B. Bendis Easter egg, Miles' father has another comic book legend's name in his list of phone contacts, Steve Ditko. In addition to Spider-Man, Ditko was also responsible for co-creating Doctor Strange, as well as several DC characters like Creeper, The Question, and Captain Atom. Ditko sadly passed away in June 2018, only 5 months before Stan Lee's death. This film honors these 2 pioneering storytellers both in the form of Easter eggs and with a bittersweet tribute during the end credits. Number 5. Chance the Rapper. Chance the Rapper was briefly mentioned in a 2017 issue of Peter Parker the Spectacular Spider-Man. Weirdly enough, Into the Spider-Verse has another reference to the young star. In Miles' dorm room, you can spot a Chance the Rapper poster hanging on the wall. What makes this Easter egg especially clever is that Chance's famous number 3 baseball cap has been swapped out with a number 4 hat. It's established that Miles' dimension is similar to others, but with a few little differences. Seems like in Miles' universe, Chance has already dropped his 4th album. Hopefully our dimension will catch up sooner rather than later. Number 4. Tobey Maguire's backstory.
My name is Peter Parker. I'm pretty sure you know the rest. I saved the city, fell in love, then I saved the city again and again and again.
Although he isn't voiced by Tobey Maguire, both Chris Pine's and Jake Johnson's Spider-Man share a great deal in common with the Peter Parker from Sam Raimi's original trilogy.
I love this burger, so delicious. One of the best burgers I've ever had.
For starters, they had an upside-down kiss with Mary Jane, just like in the 2002 original. They also stopped a runaway train and acted quickly when a car came crashing through a cafe, referencing 2 set pieces from Spider-Man 2. The film even acknowledges one of the most infamous moments from Spider-Man 3, although Peter fortunately does not break out his emo clothes here. According to co-director Rodney Rothman, the filmmakers actually considered enlisting Maguire to reprise his role, but they ultimately feared that, quote, it would just really confuse people. Number 3, 60s SpiderMan Meme.
A museum, a book napping maybe. Wallop and web snappers, it's me!
The 1960s Spider-Man cartoon has not aged incredibly well, but it did inspire a catchy theme song and some of the internet's funniest memes. Arguably the most recognizable meme is the image of Spider-Man pointing at Spider-Man, which is brilliantly worked into the after credits of Into the Spider-Verse.
Which one?
I don't care which one! Get them both!
On a mission to seek out others like him, Spider-Man 2099 decides to go back to the beginning. In other words, the first animated incarnation of the web slinger.
Looks like I got caught in my own web.
The futuristic Spider-Man thus winds up in the episode Double Identity, pointing at his 1967 counterpart.
That man's an imposter. That man is the imposter. There can't be 2 Spider-Men.
Needless to say, animation and comic book adaptations have come a long way since then. Number 2, Spider-Man 2099. While most people are at least vaguely familiar with the 60s Spider-Man cartoon, you'd have to be a true webhead to recognize Spider-Man 2099. Part of the Marvel 2099 comic line, Miguel O'Hara is the futuristic equivalent of the wall crawler, as well as the first Latino character to take on the identity of Spider-Man. In this film's post-credits scene, Miguel, voiced by Oscar Isaac, receives an interdimensional travel device and sets out to assemble others like him for a Spidey initiative. Seeing as how Into the Spider-Verse is already set to get the sequel and spin-off treatments, expect to see more of Spider-Man 2099 in the future. Number 1, Spider Lair items. Forget the Batcave, the shed in Aunt May's backyard is where it's at. The Peter Parker from Miles universe, voiced by Chris Pine, not only entrusted his secret identity with his badass aunt, but also set up shop beneath her shed. The underground lair is full of artifacts, including the Spider-Mobile, a Jeep decorated in red and blue that made its comic debut in 1974. There's also an aircraft, which could be a reference to the Web Jet. Among the numerous alternative Spider-Man suits on display, the one that stands out the most is Peter Parker's advanced suit with a white spider symbol, which debuted in the 2018 PlayStation 4 game just a few months ago.
New suit, same old me.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.